Peace. What's happening, good people? This Gift here for Pay Us No Mind, and let's talk about pre-saves versus pre-orders. Now, what is the difference between these two things? Pre-orders. Pre-orders are effectively advanced sales. So you got an album dropping on October 1st, but if you do a pre-order, everybody can buy that album right now. And the purpose of a pre-order is to try to chart, because all of the sales from today all the way up until October 1st would count towards your first week's sales. So it wouldn't be like, oh, you got 10 sales in September and you got 10 sales in August. No, those 10 sales or those 100 sales or however many sales you got in August and September would not count until the first week of October when you drop that album. And that allows you to consolidate all of the sales during that time into that first week, which might help you be able to chart. So that's like the goal of it. And people tend to incentivize people to purchase the album in advance, utilizing things like instant gratification tracks, where they'll get an unreleased song in advance, like a song off the album that hasn't been put out into the public. They'll be able to get in their iTunes library when they pre-order the release. They get things like discounted pricing, which is like a TuneCore tool, right? Where they could sell the release for a cheaper price, or they could buy the release for a cheaper price than they would be able to when it drops on October 1st. So they incentivize people to buy the release in advance so they can consolidate those sales and have a better shot at charting. That is the purpose of pre-orders. Now, pre-saves, when it comes to pre-saves, it's not about generating revenue and it's not about charting, because nothing happens with a pre-save, right? The song just gets added to a user's library. Does not mean it's going to generate streams. It just gets added to their library, and it doesn't get added to their library in advance. It's not like they have the ability to stream it before everybody else. They're gonna be able to stream it when everybody else gets to stream it. There is like absolutely nothing that the listener gets from a pre-save. They don't get advanced access. They don't get no discounts because you're not selling them nothing. It's just something that is totally about you, and you're the only one that gets anything out of it. So what do you get out of a pre-save? One, you get algorithmic benefit. So people look at Spotify and they say, okay, well, how do you trigger the algorithm? Okay, it's all constructed around how Spotify perceives your level of your type of relationship with the listener. Do they care about you and your music? And that gets determined by how often they listen to your music, first and foremost. But then secondary things are things like whether they save the music to their library, whether they've added it to a playlist, whether they followed you on the platform, things of that nature. So when somebody does a pre-save, what happens? The song gets automatically added to their library, or they can get to add it to a playlist. They automatically follow you, and right, it looks like you have a deeper relationship with that fan than what you might, right? But for Spotify, it looks like you have a deep relationship. And then the hope is that Spotify takes that data, analyzes it, right? Like, say, okay, well, this is the type of person that is the fan of this artist. Let's find other people on our platform that has this user's listening history and pump it out to them. So then you get a bigger impact on things like Discover Weekly, Release Radar, daily mixes, things of that nature. That's like the hope with pre-saves, is to trigger the algorithm. The other aspect of a pre-save is data collection and acquisition. So with data collection and acquisition, you look at a tool like Feature.fm and their pre-saves, right? What Feature.fm does is collect like a treasure trove of data. When somebody hits that pre-save button, what happens is Feature.fm will tell you the username, a number of followers their account has, whether they have playlists and the amount of followers of their playlist, whether they have a free account or a premium account, their age, their gender, All of this type of information comes through when somebody pre-saves, in addition to their email address, which allows you to identify which platforms people prefer, as well as who those people are, right? And the ability to contact them and open up a line of communication, right? So those are like the core things that a pre-save drives. Now, the thing with pre-saves that people overlook is, one, like I was saying before, the fact that the fan gets nothing out of it. So oftentimes when artists do pre-saves, they don't provide any incentive for the fan. They just say, hey, pre-save my music. And then it's like, well, why am I doing that? What do I get out of that, right? So it's like the most effective pre-saves would be to do some type of giveaway or contest or something like that, where it's like pre-save this release to win a special prize or something to that effect, where the listener actually gets something out of it. Now, the other aspect of it is whether you truly do get anything out of a pre-save. Because with Spotify, there is something called a feedback loop. Now, Spotify's feedback loop is effectively, the more they listen to a song, the more a user listens to a song, the more the song gets fed right back to them. So if I go in and I play a song on demand, and then I have that song on a playlist and I hit shuffle, guess which song is going to be one of the top songs in that shuffle session? That song that I've been streaming on demand. So anytime somebody goes and plays a playlist or plays their liked or the library of their liked songs, all of those songs are in competition with each other based on the user's engagement with the song. So the songs that the user streams most often are the songs that are going to dominate the rotation when that user hits shuffle. So if a user does not have a high level of engagement with the song, like they don't stream your song on demand, or they don't have an artist's music on a lot of playlists where it pops up a lot, then having a song added to their library is almost meaningless, because the song isn't going to break the feedback loop. It's not going to get any rotation when they hit that shuffle button. Now, the hope when people do these pre-saves is that the momentum of the release, where it comes out and you have everybody engaging with it, that external activity from other users propels it within the libraries that it's saved to, where when somebody plays it, it actually makes its way to rotation based on the other listener's activity. But that other listener activity is in competition with the listener activity of all of the other songs on the playlist. So if that person has popular songs on a playlist and you're not an artist that's as popular as the other artists on the playlist, it still might not do that much for you. And if you don't get a whole lot of activity on release date, then it's borderline meaningless, right? So that's the thing with pre-save. That's why I'm not like the biggest fan of this new thing where they got forever saves, where you could just have your songs being loaded up into somebody's library every time you drop a track, and the person don't even know it's there. Because like I said again, it's not likely to pop up when they listen to their playlist or their liked songs if they have not been listening to your music. So you need people to effectively be people who listen to your music in order for saves and pre-saves to really do anything for you. So those are the differences between the two. And really, it's like why you should probably focus more on pre-orders than pre-saves. Now, as always, you guys can agree to disagree or agree, whatever the case may be. We have links to products and services and discounts and all of that good stuff in the description box, links to consultations and my marketing services and all of that stuff in the description box as well. Feel free to share your thoughts and opinions in the comment section. You guys can hit me up at Payusnomind on Instagram, at Payusnomind on Twitter, payusnomind@gmail.com. This is Gift signing off. Pay us no mind. Peace, good people. One.